Hey y'all, it's me. Welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I'm Barbara. I'm so glad that you're here. Y'all, the weather right now is perfect. We're still under this rain watch, but in this very moment, the sun has come out. It's a nice breeze. It's only like 77 in the tunnel. This is like perfect. I got like an hour and a half to get some stuff done. So I'm just so glad to come out and it's not raining and it's not sprinkling. So that's why I'm hyped. But thank you so much for stopping by. Today, we're gonna do a couple of things. But one of the major things is we're working on the tomatoes today. Have y'all ever, or do you ever, have something that you know needs to be done? And it's like priority, but you don't make it first? Or is it just me? Like, of course, I always got a long list of garden stuff to do. The tomatoes have been priority, for sure. But I have found myself not necessarily making it number one priority, even though it probably should be. Now, to my defense, I need a cattle panel trellis for my tomatoes outside, and I can't do that until my husband is able to do it. But I should have been pruning them better, and I haven't. So today, I hope he's gonna help me put up a trellis for the tomatoes, but I'm gonna go out there and start pruning and getting ready. He's cutting grass right now, so we're gonna hope that on this video, we're gonna get a trellis up. We shall see. But I wanna show you my seedlings, the last ones that we did. They're looking mighty good, mighty good. On that side right here is lettuce. In the middle, we have some sunflowers, and then we have zucchini, squash, and cucumbers. Oh, here are my other cucumbers right here. Also, I want to show you one thing before we go back out to the before we go outside. This bed is empty. These are the things that happen off camera. So this is the bed that had my Yukon Gold potatoes in it. I have harvested those. I will try to insert a picture here so you can see the harvest. It was definitely better than last year, and I feel pretty good about the harvest considering it was just one raised bed. Y'all know I was all antsy about if I was gonna have potatoes because I thought I had waited too late, but I would say 15 to 20% are a good size. The rest of them are more like a new potato size, but I'll take it, not complaining at all. But that's not what I wanted to show you. I want to show you one other thing. I want to show you, look down at the bottom, that we have drip now in the tunnel. My husband has put drip on all of these rows here. So these 3 rows here and those 2 rows over there all have drip. So the outside garden has drip, this has drip, and now he's working on putting drips in the bed. So I am excited about that, making my job easier, because literally right now I'm just having to water the 6 raised beds in the tunnel. My cucumbers are doing quite well. You can see that I have some to pick. I got some things of harvesting that I need to do. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe we can do that now. Okay, I walked myself out to this in-ground garden space because do y'all see how I was like, oh, maybe I'll go harvest, because that's the easier thing to do than prune these tomatoes. Y'all see how I got distracted just like that? Nope. I'm about to prune some tomatoes until my husband gets ready. And I purposely walked down towards the other end of the garden so that I can start down here. Because I had pruned some of those up there already a couple of weeks ago. These down here, nothing has been done to them. So let me start down here and work myself back up this way. And I'm gonna start with those on this row over here, and let's just get to it. Do y'all see this? Laying on the ground. Oh my goodness. It's big and it looks great. I can't believe it. I didn't even know it was here. Okay, y'all, it's already looking much better. Just to have the tomatoes standing up, I can see what tomatoes I have. I have a little bit more than I thought I did, but I'm having an issue with my tomatoes that I have not had before. I'm gonna see if I can bring you closer and show you. I think it's spider mites based on what I put in Google and what came up, and it looks like this is what it is. I've never had this before. I have them in my tunnel, and I didn't know that I had them out here, and I hadn't seen them, and maybe because I haven't been all up in these plants out here, but I'm seeing the exact same thing on these tomatoes out here. And it's not particular to a particular variety. And I can see these haven't been pruned, the dogs. These have not been pruned and taken care of as much as those, but those in the tunnel have been pruned. So it definitely doesn't seem like it's a pruning airflow issue. It's some kind of pest issue, and I don't know why. I've never had it before. And so I'm not quite sure what to do. I have tomatoes on there, and the tomatoes so far look good. So if y'all have ever experienced this, let me know. I'm going to take the camera off and get closer and show you. But let me know. I need any and all help, answers, resources. My main thing is, if you know if it's a pest, you know, kind of what causes it, how to treat it, and is this something where I got to rip up all my plants and I can't, like, my plants are not going to be any good? Like, is it dangerous to the rest of my stuff? I don't see it anywhere else except on the tomatoes. The dogs, you would think, I think they're playing with each other, although it sounds like they're fighting each other. Anyway, let me show you what's going on. Before I bring you closer, just look and see the progress that my husband and son have already made, how much better it looks just to have them standing up and on the ground. Just to kind of give you a comparison, you can see the ones, like look at that one right there that's not done. How it's just, you can't even tell, just look a whole big green bush or whatever. But let me show you this stuff on my tomato plants. Here is what it looks like. It's like these, it almost, you're thinking like it's like some brown dirt, but they're covered everywhere. And we get up on it, it looks almost kind of like reddish, like it's on the back, on the underside of all of my plants. So it's some kind of pest or something. Again, I Googled it. It said spider mites, but maybe it's not spider mites. Y'all, I need help. Please get in these comments and tell me what you think is going on. Let's see if I can show you another one. My main thing is it treatable? There's another shot. Is it treatable? Okay, so is it treatable? First of all, what is it? What causes it? How do I treat it? Is it treatable? Is it gonna mess up all my other plants? Do I have to rip up all these tomatoes? I want the truth, but I promise you, I do not want to have to rip up my tomatoes. My heart is already hurt. And if I have to rip up all my tomatoes that I patiently sowed as seeds and cultivated and cared for, that's gonna hurt my feelings. And y'all, I came out here earlier today. I was a little down because I'm like, my stuff, like I told you, it wasn't looking good. And I don't want to complain. I don't want to complain. This is part of it. And like, y'all, I have tomatoes on there. Let me show you the tomatoes. So like, the tomatoes look good. They're green. They just haven't turned red. And I don't think it's even been hot enough. Like, we have yet to get into the 90s here. It has not been 90 one day at all yet. And I guess this is the first day of summer, technically, the summer solstice. But even all next week for the 10-day forecast, the highest that I've seen is 86, which tomatoes need some heat to really do their thing. But the tomatoes look good, y'all. Y'all let me know. Okay, guys, they've gotten 3 panels done, and they have 1 more, and that should hopefully complete the row. I do hope. Hopefully, it'll be just perfect, and they won't have to add anything else. And I'm thinking if they have to add anything else, maybe we'll just stake it if there's like a couple of tomatoes on the end that don't make it. But as far as my part of standing them up and getting them clipped, I'm probably 25% of the way. You can see kind of where I stopped right there, where that big mass is, right in there. You can see, because you can see all of these are staked up and all of that. So I think they'll get the last panel up before it gets dark. We probably have about 15 15 or 20 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. Okay, y'all, so here's the update. We are out of T-posts to finish this row. We have, I think he said 3 T-posts and we need 5. So they're gonna be able to put up 1 more panel and then the row will be complete minus 1 panel. I'm not gonna complain. We'll just go get the T-post, but at least the majority of this row, and he's ahead of me now because I'm still trying to clip these tomatoes to the trellis. Y'all, the ones that were just, they're all intertwined, out of control, haven't been pruned. By God's grace, I will not get myself in this position again. Now, I know there's a debate about prune, not prune. For me, it just makes it easier to manage, to prune, at least to keep the bottom section open, and then just so that you can see what you have. I know there are some people who don't do pruning because they feel like they get more tomatoes or whatever. Just, I don't know how you deal, like, again, and to each his own. That's why we all got our own gardens, right? There's no judgment. I'm just telling you, for me, this looks like a complete mess. It's taken me forever to just try to wade through and making sure that I'm not cutting the wrong thing, because I have been known to do that. I did that last year. Cut the wrong stem and killed the plant. So I'm trying to be careful and not cut the wrong thing, but I can barely see what's what. I mean, it's just shoots going everywhere. So those have been difficult. So I've decided to take a break from that and focus on the ones that are much smaller, that are a little bit more tame, and try to clip those. And I'll get my husband to come back and help me with those in the middle that are just, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's gonna be dark in just a few minutes and I will still be out here working. So these dogs, they do that every evening around about this time. So let me just recap this video. So we have tomatoes that we didn't know that we had. The tomatoes themselves look good. I'm dealing with some kind of pest issue out here and in the tunnel. I didn't get a chance to take you in the tunnel, but in the tunnel this morning, a different pest issue. I'm not even gonna say it's a pest. 4 of my tomato plants had like died like overnight, like not the whole thing, but it had like brown dead leaves on it, and I have no idea why. And that's one of the worst feelings, is that your plants are sick and you don't know why. It's kind of like your child being sick and you don't quite know what it is. You're like, is it pneumonia? Is it bronchitis? Like when you know, and for those that are parents, when you've had more than one child and you've kind of been through those symptoms before, you don't panic as much because you're like, okay, this is a cold. Okay, this is bronchitis. We're going to do this and everything's going to be fine. But when your child is sick and you don't know what's wrong, that's how I feel about my plants. I'm like, what happened? Like literally it happened overnight. It was like 4 of the plants just like brown, dead on some of the leaves. I cut the dead leaves off and I'm going to see what happens. The tomatoes on it still look fine. I didn't rip the plant up because y'all know I'm known. If something don't look good, I'll be like, let's just start over. But not my tomatoes, y'all. So I didn't have the camera with me this morning to show you what it looked like. I'll see if I can insert a picture. Anyway, can we all hold hands and pray about these tomatoes? And we ask the Lord to bless and give us an abundance of tomatoes and help me to figure out what's wrong. Even if I have to figure it out, you guys leave me some comments. Let me know. I showed you the ones out here. So let me know. So today we did get something accomplished. This has been on the to-do list for quite some time, but there's been other stuff. Now, I should have been out here pruning and staking, but I was kind of like, okay, I don't want to prune and then stake and clip to a stake when you're going to put up the panel like in the next day or so. Because what I've had to do is I've had to take all those stakes out that we did stake, unclip them all, and then redo it, right? Anyway, first world gardening problems. I'm not going to complain. I'm just explaining. So, thank you guys for going with me yet again on this part of the journey. If I had to, I guess, just summarize what I'm feeling right now, it's things don't seem to be going as well as last year at this stage in the journey. And I even went back and had to go watch myself, y'all, watch my video from this time last year. Off by about 10 days, meaning I still have 10 more days from when I made that video to kind of compare apples to apples. There's some things that are doing better, some things that are doing, I shouldn't say worse, just not as big or whatever. And again, I'm a new gardener, so I had good success last year. I'm still hoping, believing, and praying for good success this year. But right now, today, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? What can I do different? What can I do different? Y'all let me know if I'm crazy. Do y'all have those moments where you're just like, I thought we were past this. We're not past this. But again, I'm being open, honest, and transparent, because if there's just one more person out there who is listening to this and who understands and going through the same thing, I feel you. I'm with you, right? But what am I going to do? I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. I got to keep going. I must keep going, and you must keep going, right? So I don't have the answers today. I don't. I really just took you around with me real time so you could see what's going on. We do have progress. The cattle panel is 75% up, and we're making progress. It's a journey. This is part of it. From here on out, all we're going to do is keep growing together. Don't you stop growing. I don't care what happens. Don't stop growing. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.